Your horse has been diagnosed with pus in the foot or a subsolar abscess. Normally, the abscess tract will have been dug out and excavated by your veterinary surgeon or farrier, leaving you with the responsibility of applying a foot poultice. This can be daunting at times. Often horses are sore in their feet and not very willing to stand still, but the bare bones of applying it is very similar to applying a lower limb bandage. To start with, materials you will need. A generic poultice pad. There are umpteen makes of these. Here we have one that's called Vetramedical or the traditional Animal Intex poultice. They come in rectangular pads or hoop-shaped pads that are pre-cut, but it really doesn't matter which one you go for. Alternatively, a cheap and cheerful solution to these, if you haven't got any, is a bog standard nappy, which you can apply in the same way. Now, you don't need to use all that much of this poultice material. You're merely applying it over the hole where the abscess is going to drain from. So what I tend to do is unwrap them, take my scissors and cut a small pad approximately 4 to 5 inches by 4 to 5 inches. Now, very similar to your primary dressing layers, there is a top side and a bottom side to every poultice. Again, helpfully indicated by a layer of plastic. The layer of plastic goes away from the abscess, the soft cotton wool layer goes towards the abscess. If you're applying your abscess for the first time, I generally recommend that you apply it hot and wet. So have either a mug or a small beaker of hot water into which you dunk your poultice until it's saturated. This water does not need to be boiling. If you've excavated a lot of sole to release the abscess and expose the corium of the foot, that's a highly sensitive, very well vascularized tissue, and your horse will really not appreciate a boiling hot poultice bath being put on. So finger warm, 35, 45 degrees would be absolutely fine. Having saturated your poultice, take it out and wring most of the water out. Otherwise you end up with water running over your hands when you try and apply it. Then, having lifted your foot up, put the plastic side of the poultice away from the abscess and then wrap in with vet wrap initially up to the level of just beneath the fetlock, followed by gaffer tape liberally to keep it on and keep it dry. Depending on how deep the abscess is, you may have to change your poultice either once every day, every other day, or sometimes every 3 days. But as time goes by, you will find the need to soak and wet your poultice decreases. And the last couple of applications tend to be put on dry to try and dry the foot out and harden it back up before the foot's unwrapped and the horse goes back out or has a shoe put back on. A second way of preparing your duct tape for applying a foot poultice, if you find it easier than wrapping it around the foot while the limb's in the air, is to make a square of duct tape on a flat surface. Cheers.